For John Chen, going electric just made sense. He's on the road a lot as an Uber driver, and not fueling up with gas means big savings.
When I was driving a gas vehicle, I paid like over $1,000 a month on gas.
But while his wallet is getting a break, driving an electric vehicle, or EV, has brought new inconveniences. Chen doesn't have a driveway, so like some 60,000 so-called garage orphans in the city, he relies on street parking. But to charge his car overnight, there are limited options. Just about every day, he does this same walk, nearly half an hour round trip to charge his car.
It's not super close at all, and that's an issue. There's closer options available, but it requires a permit that I'm not eligible for.
Chen lives right near the edge of his parking permit zone. Many of the on-street chargers within his zone are 1, 2, even close to 3 kilometers away. There are 2 chargers on residential streets that would be a shorter walk, but he can't park there overnight since they're in different permit zones. He says he asked the city about getting a permit for a neighboring zone, but was told no.
I just think it was dumb. Considering that the city really wants people to get electric vehicles. So I think this is certainly not helping with their targets, with their 2030 targets.
Those targets are to have 30% electric vehicles registered in the City of Toronto by 2030, part of its net zero strategy. Experts say increasing access to charging stations will be essential to meeting that goal.
Who would be willing to walk half an hour every day round trip just to get their car charged? I think when we looked at this, people were willing to walk about 5 minutes, and that's kind of the maximum.
We asked the city why it won't issue permits for neighboring parking zones for EV drivers like Chen, or issue specific permits for EV charging stations. In a statement, a city spokesperson said the current system provides an equitable distribution of parking permits.
It's a tough balance.
EV researcher Olivier Trescas says he understands not wanting to set a precedent of making exceptions for EV drivers, but says easy access to charging is key to the energy transition.
I think this is part of the growing pains. As we go from the early adopters to mass adoption, there's a difficult road.
There are on-street chargers at just over 50 locations across the city. The city also operates chargers in 30 Green P lots. The International Energy Association recommends 1 charging port for every 10 EVs. A report from the city earlier this summer shows at its current pace, it's on track to have just 1 port for every 70 EVs by 2040. As the city works toward meeting its targets, the Atmospheric Fund says it makes sense for the focus to be on other charging infrastructure.
In our view, the priority is to get charging into multifamily homes.
Those residents make up a large portion of the city, while garage orphans like Chen may have to keep hunting for places to charge up. Sarah MacMillan, CBC News, Toronto.